Today on the channel, and a nice change of pace, something came early with the Masters of the Universe, Many Faces from Mondo.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another He-Man and the Masters of the Universe Mondo unboxing and review. And today on the channel we got one of my all-time favorites in Many Faces. But for all your Many Faces needs, Mondo Timed Edition. Better jump over to Mondo. But for everything else Mondo and everything else under the sun, hit up jaystoysandgames.com. Use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 15% on all in-stock items. And I can tell you guys, Jay's getting a lot of the Mondo releases, making me a little bit more itchy for the X-Men figures, especially if I can save 15%. We'll see how that goes in the future. But the future is now for Many Faces, and the future was supposed to be 2026. I think this was supposed to ship in March, April of 2026, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I'm mistaken. But a nice surprise, I think the day before Christmas, I got an email saying, hey, this is shipped via DHL. And then here I am the day after Christmas with it in my hand. So not as long of a long game as I thought I was going to have with this Many Faces, and I'm here for that, as I've always enjoyed Many Faces, back to being a little kid playing with my He-Man figures. So can't wait to dive into it. We're going to do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. So without further ado, let's see what Many Faces is up to here today. Now, first thing I noticed right out of the package with this, I was scratching my head a little bit. Apparently some cost-cutting moves being done here with Mondo, as we usually have magnets that compel us with the opening. I usually can open up it. You can see the figure inside. We do not have this on this one. Many Faces does not have that going on. So I was kind of expecting that, especially with the deluxe figures. And I got to be honest, this is a little smaller of a box than I thought it would end up being here. Many Faces always kind of a big space suit. I always thought big and bulky. Figured the box would be bigger, but I'm not a box collector. I'm a figure collector. But some notes on the package here. Got a very cool background here. Almost looks like the starburst from the back of a G.I. Joe is what it reminds me of. But we got Many Faces and his iconic faces, and we get a few more in this one. And we're going to run through it all as we usually do. Mondo down here, you got the seal of the timed edition looking very good. Many Faces Deluxe Edition, Mondo, all of that. Same thing over here, 1/6. We know how that goes. Mattel logo at the top, and then you got the blurb for Many Faces. Let's see what it says. How about Many Faces, heroic human, monster, robot. Humiliated by heroic Percadio, Lord Skeletor poisoned the actor with an evil potion. The sorceress cast a counterspell overpowering Skeletor and saving Percadio's life, but not before his identity was split in three. Part man, part robot, and part monster, Many Faces plays many roles in the battle for Eternia, determined to fight until his curse is lifted. Oh, the curse of an actor, as we know. And when I was a kid, Many Faces, you know, when you get the monster face, he'd be a bad guy. When he had the human face, he was a good guy. That's how I played as a little kid with my Many Faces. He was a guy that went both ways, much like a top and farther from the couch. There it is. Got the beautiful packaging on this one. As you guys know, I do save the package on this. We do got two extra heads down here. We got the stand, and we got his little friend up there in the corner. One of Eternia's friends over there, an interesting one. And then we get the figure itself all locked up here, all kinds of protection on these. As we do know, we get an extra head up here. I'm always here for a little head, but I'm going to take it offline, get him out of the pack. We'll be back talking all things Many Faces. All right, let's get down to business with the Mondo Many Faces. Let's dive into the accessories first, and we're going to start it off with the stand. You got to have a stand for these Mondo figures. Nobody wants these guys falling off a shelf. Got your traditional stand over here looking pretty good. Now we're going to dive into a little character. I don't think this guy has a name, but he's just one of those guys you'd see running around, of course, Eternia. And I think the Many Faces episode of the cartoon, the first one he was in, I think these guys were all over the place. They were watching him perform Shakespeare or whatever he was up to. This guy's got a little bit of articulation to him. Got a little head back and forth, side to side. The arms do move on him, or at least, yeah, both arms do actually move for him. No movement out of the feet. He does come with a little spear action here. He's got the little helmet, the little trident helmet, a little shaggy in the hairdos. Man, come on, kid, get a haircut. What are we doing? And then he's got a very Renaissance-like outfit on him here, but a nice little throw-in for Manny Faces, one of those guys you can just kind of put in your display. I'm here for that. I wish every single figure came with a little character like that. It'd be kind of cool to build out a little world, is what it is. Diving into the hands here, we got a lot of options. We got 2 fists of Manny Faces Fury out of the package. Going to be throwing some of those punches in bunches. Trigger hands, you got the left and right trigger hands. Got to have those with Manny Faces, and his weapons we'll get to. You got the splayed out hand. The maniacal hands is known in some circles. And then we got gripping hands that are almost like a fist and a little looser. So 2 different styles of gripping hands here. Not sure we needed both of these, but I guess more the better. More the merrier, maybe. Something like that. But now diving into the weapons, we do got the club here. Of course, one of Eternia's finest clubs. You see this a lot over the history of the toy line. You got the club end at the top, a little bronze, a little silver, nice handle in the middle to grab. Ready to go if you want to take it medieval, but if you want to take it scientific, we get some very futuristic weapons for Manny Faces, and we get his blaster, his iconic blaster in red and silver. Looking nice. Love this. This reminds me of Manny Faces all day long from many a toy line over the years. And then we get the big blaster here. Much like the club, we've seen this a lot of times. Kind of a generic weapon over there in Eternia. You got the handle here. You got an extra handle. You're going to be blasting away. That's what you're going to be doing here. But looking good. I like the weapon selection. They make sense for Manny Faces. But now, this gets to be the hard part. This could be the hardest figure to ever decide which head to use for, as we get so many different heads for this Manny Faces. Something like 13 different faceplate designs for this one. I might be off, I might be low, I might be high, but somewhere in that ballpark, we got a lot going on. And we're going to dive into it right out of the package first. Now, the cool thing is, you obviously know Manny Faces. You spin the face, you get the different faces. You do get the turnstile on the top up here. So you can turn this, you can put these in there, you can use that to turn it. That is a lot of fun. But we're going to start the head sculpt out of the package first. We're going to start with the classic robot design for him. The robot design looks like it kind of belongs to the character here with the rest of the body. Kind of makes a lot of sense if you ask me. But then you turn it with the simple spin, and we get a newer face here. A little face paint stuff. I don't know what this one's supposed to be. Is he supposed to be like a Joker or a mime or something? Something for the court jester maybe? So we do have that one. Got the purple eyes there, the white and green attack. Looking very interesting, but to me, it's not Manny Faces. I don't think of this with Manny Faces. Moving to the next one here. Oh, you got another robot, I guess human face with a little bit of robot on the sides, what it always looked like to me. But another one that goes well with the body type, because I talked about the robot likeness. Well, you do get some skin showing on this one, and you can see the skin in the face here for another classic Manny Faces face. Looking very nice there. And then you get the monster one, which always felt weird in this suit for me for whatever reason. But whenever he was the monster in my childhood playing days, that's when he was joined up with Skeletor. He was helping those guys out. So your mileage may vary on that, as we say. But those are the heads right out of the package. But then we get another spindle of heads right over here. And we get a more current day, futuristic, modern take on the robot face here. Looking interesting. Different eye shield on that one. A little purple on the sides. Very interesting. And then you move it to the side, you get like a robot skeleton face, which I find to be very interesting as well. Then we get the Manny Faces human face, but a more angry face for him this time around, which looks really nice. Then you get, in a plot twist, you get the monster, but the monster, his feelings have been hurt. It's a scary monster with a frowned face. So interesting take on this head. I don't think I'll use any of these, but I like to have the options. And if you're a true Manny Faces fan, if he owns your world, you need to buy like 15 of this figure. You can display every different look. That's what a real one would do. So if you're a real one, shout it off in the comments below. But now, before we get to the next turnstile one, let's just go straight human head style here. We get a very human head on him. This is a very different look for him as well. It plugs in just like all the other heads here, but there's no spindle. There's nothing like that. It's just a straight up face for Manny Faces. Looking good, white eyes, a little bit of a determined face, and a very kind of shaggy hairdo on him. Definitely looks different, but it is a very interesting take, and I like all the options with this figure here. But now we get back to the turnstile head, and we get some surprises this time around. We get the traditional robot, always looking good with the robot. We do get the monster face this time. He's got a little open mouth going on. A little angrier on that one there. We get a laughing human face, which is nice to see. It's nice to see him laughing around. And then the last head we got in a plot twist, it's Skeletor. Yes, he's going to play Skeletor. Very wild, kind of a nice Easter egg with this one. So many head options. It'll truly make your head spin. No pun intended. But how do we make the head spin? Well, we turn the top up here, as we know, but the whole head comes off just like so, very easily. Now, it plugs in the front, plugs in the back. Be careful. You don't want to break those wires, but you got plug-ins. You'll see them on there. So you take that off. This comes off very easily. It just spins on here, just kind of rests inside there. Almost just like a dreidel or something. Dreidel, dreidel, dreidel. And you know the song. But it kind of just fits like that. But you can put any of these in here however you want to do it. You can plug that in there, which is kind of cool. This is the one that's not bad. You have him without the mask on. It almost looks like a spaceman astronaut type thing going there. But a lot of options with this one. There is no doubt about it. And then they all fit, just putting it in here like so. I'm going to plug this one in, though. That's the one I'm going to go with for the rest of the review. Why not? Make it real different, but I really do like the looks of that head sculpt on here. Very cool. Very, very cool. But now, diving into the body, it looks like Manny Faces. Part cybernetic robot, part human is what he always was for me. Maybe you as well. And we do got some flashes of skin tone throughout. He never skips ab day and only eating chicken and rice and a little bit of broccoli, it looks like here as well. Got all kinds of pipes going on that goes all the way into the back here. I always pretended it was kind of a jetpack. I don't think that's what it's supposed to be, but you could. Very robotic-like arms here in the elbows, down into the fists and on the forearms. You got pipes, all kind of stuff. Almost reminds me of a Cosmic Legion figure, if you follow the Cosmic Legions at all. He's got some of those hallmarks as well. You got the purple and blue attack throughout. You got the very robotic boots down here into the shin guards that I would never even see Terry Steinbach in shin guards like these. Definitely futuristic looking here. A little short in the arms, it feels like. It feels like the arms could have been just a hair longer. Not the end of the world for me personally, but a lot going on, and I really love the shiny kind of glossy paint on this one. The colors really, really do pop. This is going to be one of those figures where you walk by, it's going to catch your eye right off the bat. You're like, wow, what is this? Very shiny, very bright, very cool, very detailed in the head sculpts. A lot to like about this Manny Faces. Now, articulation, the arms do go all the way around for us. Very nice, smooth as butter right here. Bicep cut, very nice. Single jointed elbows, good movement out of those. Sometimes we get these Mondo ones that fight you. Very smooth like butter. A little squeaky, but still smooth. Hands back and forth, side to side, removable. We've seen what you can do with the head. We know that by now. You get the dumbbell up top, plus waist articulation. And I gotta say, a lot of these Mondo figures, you don't get a ton of movement out of them. He's moving pretty good for a Mondo style figure. Legs, maybe a different story here. You get a little bit of up, a little bit of out. That's about what you're going to get. And this is kind of stuff that really walks the line between statue and action figure with this one here. You do get double jointed pinless knees. I do like to see that. So you do get movement out of that. You do get a boot cut, and then you get a little ankle side to side, back and forth. Mondo on the foot. 2025 Mattel is what it says down low. Not a bad piece of business here. I got to say, this one actually blew away my expectations. I've always been a Manny Faces fan. I thought it looked really cool. But I like this one, and it is a little bit head spinning. Once again, no pun intended. Going to be hard to decide which faceplate to use for him. But I really do like this figure. I got to say, way better than I expected it to be, and I had high hopes. Whenever I fork over the money for Mondo, I have very high hopes because they're very expensive figures, and this one really hits the ball out of the park, I do think. I do miss the deluxe packaging style, but at the end of the day, I'm an opener, so it's not the end of the world. But I like that kind of magnet that you can kind of open up. That was always kind of fun. Shocking we didn't get that with Manny Faces, but I would rather have them cut costs on that than somewhere in the figure. That's just me personally. But a fun one right here. But we do got some comparisons. Got a little He-Man to put him next to here. So he is a little bit taller than He-Man, as we can see. I don't know if that's true to form or not. Maybe the boots give him a little extra size. Maybe that's the case. And I do have Faker, of all things, sitting around here as well. Very similar to He-Man, and once again. But we got him hanging around here. So there it is. That's Manny Faces. And two of his good friends, depending on which face he's rocking at the time. So there's Manny Faces. Be interested to hear your thoughts on this Mondo Manny Faces. Did you pick this one up? Did you pre-order this one? Are you like me, still all in on the He-Man stuff? Well, let me know in the comments down below. You made it this far. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bell. We got videos every single day. And then some. We got even more content for you over on Patreon, YouTube channel memberships, early access to everything we do on both YouTube channels, early access to the podcast, and plenty of stuff to keep you busy. Sir Paul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, Instagram, TikTok, and don't forget the Kyle Peterson Show at gmail.com if you want to send me an email. The Kyle Peterson Show, also the name of my podcast, each and every Tuesday where podcasts are found with video cast on YouTube. So for Manny Faces, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.
Well, are we gonna dance or are we gonna play?
See you later!